Hey guys, welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a little bit of California scenery viewing here. We're sitting on the ramp at Santa Monica in our DA62 here. I was in the process of trying to sort of up my scenery in San Diego. It kind of snowballed on me. I started out in San Diego. I wanted to get the Coronado Bay Bridge because it just wasn't on my scenery. So I downloaded that, and then I found some of the other Southern California sceneries, like there's a library or like a Southern California update that pretty much changes a lot of the buildings and stuff like that. And then I found the Santa Monica Airport, so I jumped into that, loaded that up, and then I got a bunch of libraries with like the flags. If you can see in the background there, we've got the California flag and the U.S. flag fluttering away. So that's another scenery thing. I ended up loading all of this stuff. One of the things I did load for San Diego because I noticed that some of the buildings weren't correct within the downtown area. And there was that FSX conversion that somebody had done. Unfortunately, it's so bad on frames, I ended up removing it. And it didn't add a ton of stuff, I think. Well, I guess it did, but it really didn't make a difference in what I saw. There's a lot more buildings that were sort of correct, like the San Diego Convention Center was there, and a lot of buildings in Balboa Park and everything like that. But unfortunately, it was so bad on frames. I was dropping if I tested out flying the Airbus A320, which is a frame hog to start out with. It's probably like the worst airplane I have, that it really impacts the frame rate. And unfortunately, with that scenery coming in on final, I was dipping below 20, which is just not acceptable. Like 23 is sort of the bare minimum. And anyway, so I ended up removing that, but I don't think we lost a lot. But the other sort of California scenery or Southwest scenery, it adds in like the harbor lights and things like that. And then if you fly along the harbor, which we will do, like Long Beach, you'll see container ships and cranes. One of the things that thing does is it adds all of the piers in. So everywhere there's supposed to be a pier, there's a pier. There's a Santa Monica pier update, though, that I didn't put in, that actually I'm taking a look at, or somebody's working on it right now. So the pier is there, but it doesn't have all the the Ferris wheel and all that stuff on it. It also did add in the Hollywood sign, which we'll take a look at here. So let's jump into the plane. Let's get fired up over here. First, I'm going to bring up our menu right here. I'm going to go ahead and fuel her up. And no luggage. This is just a local flight. We're having some fun. And let's get rid of the chocks and all that stuff. Let's get on out of here. All right. Let's jump in the plane. I figure I'd take the DA just because it's excuse me. It's easy to fly, and it's a nice GA plane for sightseeing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the sounds up right now. I'll turn them down here as soon as we get fired up, though. So normally what I do with this guy, put the position light on, then put the master on, and then just fire her up. Let me change my volume ever so slightly here so I don't get deaf. Or go deaf. Alright, there we go. Alright, fire up the right side, fire up the left side. Let's put the avionics master on, put our taxi light on. Pretty much everything else is all set in here. So, fuel pumps can go off. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that's... Oh, see, that wasn't turned up all the way. And this guy here, that turns down all of the sort of environmental sounds there. So I'm going to leave that up and then turn it down with my master volume. There we go. Okay, enough talking about volume. Let's just set our altitude here. I don't even know what it is at Santa Monica, but I'm guessing it's like around 20 feet. So I'm just going to set this somewhere around there. Alright, good enough. So we're in the ballpark. We're just VFRing it today here and taking a look at some of the scenery enhancements. We will set our trim tab right there, and I think that's it. Alright, we'll taxi out like this. Actually, let's pop out of the plane and I'll show you around the Santa Monica airport. That might be a little loud there. So we're looking north here. It's a nice little scenery pack here for Santa Monica. I don't know exactly what Santa Monica looks like in real life. I didn't look, but I know it's pretty much a big giant asphalt jungle here. So I'm guessing this looks nice and realistic. Looking over there towards downtown. Actually, is that no? That's Beverly Hills over here. Hollywood. We'll take a look at the Hollywood sign, which I think. Let me see if I got it. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, here we go. That's all Beverly Hills, Hollywood. All right, you can actually see the Hollywood sign. It kind of look a little grainy here, but yeah, see, we actually get the Hollywood sign from there. And if we go over here, there's downtown all the way over there. We'll take a flight over that. Yep, catch up scenery. All right, let's get in the plane. Let's get the brakes off. Let's get out of here. Got our nice. I don't know if that's the exact tower that's at Santa Monica. It might be. That's kind of sort of like the default California control tower at some of the smaller airports, at least in the past. So a lot of the airports had these sort of cone-shaped tower buildings. Take a look at some of the scenery here as we go by. Got our palm trees. Got our flags over here. And over here, actually, you can see some of those buildings I was telling you about. So it kind of gives that sort of whatever Southwest or California scenery pack. Gives you a little bit more California-looking buildings like that. All right, we don't need a ton of runway here, so yeah, no, we'll keep going. I was going to turn off over here, but we'll go all the way to the end. What the heck? All right, so what we'll do is we're going to take off. Going in the opposite direction, go offshore, take a look at the Santa Monica Pier there. We'll fly over Beverly Hills and then over to Hollywood, take a look at the Hollywood sign, and then we'll take a dip down over downtown LA and see how the buildings look over there. And then we'll go over to Long Beach, take a look at all of the container ships and all that good stuff that we've got to look at, and then we'll head down to San Diego and top it off with a little tour across the San Diego Bay. We'll take a look at the bridge and see how all the scenery looks there. Alright, not sure if we got a tailwind here, but we're going anyway. Alright, let's go full power, back it off just a little bit. Our landing lights on. Strobe lights on. And they're 75-ish. Let's go ahead and rotate. Get off the ground here. Positive rate gear up. Let's go ahead and throttle back to about 90%. Get the flaps up. Retrim here. Volume turned down just a little bit, and there you can see LAX just off our wing there. And this setting with all of the buildings and everything, this is not ultra. This is actually my high setting. Can't remember what pier that is right there, but there's a pier there apparently. And then over here we've got Santa Monica Pier. Like I said, I'm looking forward to when the guy that's working on the Santa Monica Pier actually releases that. I haven't seen if he's given it out for for anybody yet, but he's working on that, and I think like Riverside Airport or something. Alright, let's go ahead and make our turn here. Make sure we don't lose our engine or anything by over stressing it. Let's go landing light, taxi light off. And let's take a look at what we see here. Lots of buildings, my goodness. And LA has always been pretty frame intensive, frame rate. And if I put it up to ultra, unfortunately, it just drops way too low. It drops into bouncing around on like 20, which I don't like. And if we take a look at my frames, right, see frames up here, 25 right now. Let's go ahead, make our turn right around the pier. And that's a little quirk of ortho here. Two different tiles coming together. Okay, we're not going to go up too high. Just going to go right here, do a little scenery looking. We'll take a look at Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Beverly Hills. I think that's not sure if that's Beverly Hills Golf Course or what. I think there's a couple of them here. Can't remember if this is Wilshire Boulevard or Sunset Strip. Have to look at our map. Actually, why don't we look at our map? Look at maps right here. Let's see if this tells us. As it tries to zoom in. Alright, we'll let that load and then take a look at it again. So lots of buildings populated here. See how we're doing. There we go, 23 on the frames. That's about the minimum that I want to see. And we don't have any clouds too, so that helps also. All right, let's fly right over to the Hollywood sign. See downtown LA off in the distance there. It's not getting populated. There's LAX and Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, between the two of them. Let's see if we can get our map up. Did I zoom in too much? Give me that. Well, anyway. Just checking my frames here. 25, not too bad, considering everything that's getting loaded here. I think on a cloudier day, I would probably reduce the number of objects that I have. And downtown LA is starting to come into view. Look at it like this. You know, one of the things that I've noticed is, I think when I go to Ultra, it's not that it populates a lot more buildings, it populates a lot more trees. And that definitely has a hit on the frame rate here. Right here, 24. I think that's Santa Monica Boulevard, isn't it? Not sure. Come over here, we'll zoom over the or by the Hollywood sign. Look at our altitude here. And looking at downtown LA. Oop. I just tried zooming in and it's like, ow, it's choking. It's choking trying to pop everything else in. Looking at Universal Studios right there. That's where Universal Studios is. This is the Valley and Universal City. As we come across the Hollywood side here. Looking at Burbank in the background. The only other thing that I don't like about this is Griffith Observatory right here, and it's not a big building like that. If you take a look at Griffith Observatory, it's an observatory. It's got like 3 domes on it, not one giant building. And if you're ever visiting in LA, make sure you take a trip up to Observatory. Here you can see the Hollywood sign from there, and basically look out over LA. And if it's a clear day, you can see all the way from the valley inland all the way out to the ocean, kind of like what we're seeing right now. And so we'll come over across downtown LA. So we'll see is it Dodger Stadium right over here. Unfortunately, it's not modeled, but it is on the ortho here. Like I said, I saw a couple of things where somebody was working on sort of, or there's a California landmarks kind of thing. I'm hoping to see that. Maybe we'll get the stadium right here and then Griffith Observatory, a couple other things. We'll see how it looks if I can find it again. So downtown LA also, I guess that some of those scenery packs, they correct the buildings. They put the correct buildings in. Right, see-through building. It looks like right now it's just kind of popping buildings in and out. But if you didn't know any better, it's like, oh, that's downtown LA. So we don't have some of the iconic buildings that should be there. Well, there's downtown. There's, what's that? Forgot what that's called. Is that the convention center? Yes, I believe it is. Yeah, so this is the LA Convention Center and the Staples Center. Right there, recognize that. Alright, let's head on over to Long Beach now. So we'll just follow this road right here all the way to Long Beach. Look at our frames, and they're dipping down here with those buildings. We'll climb out a little bit here. What are we at? We're only at 1,200 feet. Back at downtown. And let's keep our climb in here. Power up a little bit. LA is a crowded place. And we're going to cross right through the approach for LAX right there. I'm guessing the controllers probably wouldn't want us right at 2,000 feet. you know, like 6 or 7 miles off the approach there. Let's see what the frames look like. Still bouncing around 22 here. You can see some of the lighting and stuff that shows up with that West Coast scenery pack. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change the time of day so you can see what it looks like here. Zoom over to the evening. Ooh, look at that. There's LAX. Bring the sun up a little bit. Got a nice sunset view. I believe it's Long Beach right there, and you see that big bright spot right there? This is kind of quirky. So obviously, limitation of X-plane, you know, the lighting does not go all the way to horizon. It pops in as you get closer, but major areas are lit up like airports and stuff like that. That's actually Disneyland right there. And you can see some of the lighting in the harbor. Let me bring the sun down a little bit more so we get rid of the reflection as it's loading. Actually getting reflection from, I don't know, the city lights. But all these things right here are, you know, those gantry cranes for the container ships and stuff like that. And I have my lights turned up really bright because I think it looks nicer. It's my preference. I've got a couple of scripts that, well, I got one script that does the, well, I have one modification that does the reflected light a little bit differently, more intense, and then I'm using Ultraweather XP to do the city lighting, which is up at 63, so you see you can turn it down, turn it all the way up. It's a little bit too much. I think I'm going to leave it right there. I like it pretty bright. Alright, let's bring the sun back up over here so we can take a look at the scenery. Lights go out. There we go. Bring it all the way up. Good view. You can see the sun glare, kind of bringing the sun up. Alright, let's try to level off over here. Look at our frames, 24, coming over Carson. So this is Long Beach right here. If you're familiar with auto racing, this is where the IndyCar Long Beach Grand Prix takes place. And you can see over here, you see all the container ships and towers. Got some 3D objects here, you know, fuel tanks, whatever. That looks nice. And you see these buoys lighting up. So even in the daytime, you'll see these buoys. That's part of the that West Coast scenery pack. Right over. Let's see. This is a nice view. So here we've got the Queen Mary, and where the Spruce Goose used to be inside of here until it was moved some years back. I think somebody took it up north. I got a cruise ship here. We've got the Queen Mary. And it looks a little boxy here, but from a distance looks pretty good. Alright, let's head down the coast, head down to San Diego. So what I'm going to do here, let's hit our autopilot. Autopilot on, we don't need to go to 4,000 feet, let's go to 3,000 feet, sounds good. We're going to go vertical speed, nose up, and get my heading. Right about there, we'll hit heading hold. Back at Long Beach there. Okay, what I'm going to do is just kind of pick a heading here, head for San Diego, just off the coastline here so we can take a look at everything as we go down over Orange County. And I'll let you watch the view. How's that? Go right, yeah, we'll go this one right here. Something like that. Okay, so we're headed for Orange County. I think this is, what is it, Huntington Beach? Should see the Huntington Beach Pier. Not sure exactly where it's at. Maybe just a little bit farther down over here. And start seeing Santa Ana buildings popping up right there. All right, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. Be right back. Alright guys, so you saw Huntington Beach go by. Here's Santa Ana and Newport Beach. And again, you can see the little lights popping up. Those are the buoys that are lit up. Some of them are there's a couple of weird spots where I think there's like one, I saw one right here, let's see. There it goes, right there. I don't think there's a buoy in the parking lot here at Newport Beach. Coming up to the wedge. This is the wedge right here. Nice surf spot because of the jetty that comes out over here. Waves tend to kind of get funneled into here and create these giant waves that if you look on YouTube, just look up the wedge, you'll see it. It's really neat. And looking back over John Wayne Airport right there. Adjust my, let's see, I'm going to turn just a little bit. So we keep a nice view of the coastline here. Back down off the wing here at Newport Beach. Double check our power setting here. I don't want to start burning up the engines, which you can do in this DA. I don't know how many times I've taken off and I forgot to power back, and the next thing you know I lose an engine because it's on fire. Cruising on down, we're going to be heading towards Laguna Beach here. And we've got Dana Point right there. That's why it's called Point. See right there. Dana Point, and then down into San Diego County, and we'll take a look at the downtown San Diego scenery and the bay, and take a look at the nice Coronado Bay Bridge that I've got in there now. So this is Laguna Beach right here. If you ever come out to Laguna Beach, come up to this park right here. It's called Heisler Park. You can park right out over there and walk around. Gorgeous view. And there's Laguna Beach downtown we just passed. The nose there. This is the Montage. I think I've got that name right. Resort. Alright, come up to Dana Point Harbor, and starting to see San Diego County. Just in the haze out there. Another nice spot to go if you're visiting Southern California is Dana Point Harbor. There's a little beach right here. It's called Baby Beach, and bring your paddle boards, or you can rent them right here and paddleboard all around the harbor. There's Baby Beach right there. There's a little like maritime museum right here. There's usually a sailing ship right here, and then you can kind of take this little road up to the top right here and walk around. Here's that little road, and then you can park and just kind of walk around out here and get a nice view. Change my heading here just a little bit, so we can keep a nice view off the left-hand side. And coming up to San Clemente, which is the last pier in Orange County before you get into San Diego County. And the first thing you run into is San Diego County is Camp Pendleton main base. And that starts, that's why there's nothing over here, because otherwise they would build this up with all sorts of housing. Here's San Clemente, another nice spot to stop. It's a nice little downtown area, someplace right through here. And you got to kind of make your way down to the pier. Beach is real nice right here. You got the train tracks. You can go hang out at the pier, or just hang out at the beach right over here. There's a couple little restaurants and stuff right there. And one of the things the scenery added, which isn't realistic, so you see the smoke coming up right here. That is San Onofre nuclear power plant, now decommissioned. Not decommissioned, but it's not working. It's in sort of a offline state permanently. They have a bunch of nuclear material there that they store. Probably not the best idea, but what are you going to do? Where else are you going to put it? And the scenery that has the Southern California scenery, it actually puts, unfortunately, a nuclear cooling tower right there. Smoke coming out of it. Looks like smoke. And that you're not going to see. Movies out here. San Onofre is actually two round domes right here, and they don't really look like that. They look like two big round domes. And I'll let you just come up with what they actually look like from the air. This denotes the line between Orange County right there and San Diego County. It's right here where the housing is. Now we scoot the coastline here along Camp Pendleton, and we're getting into San Diego right there. This distance. Change my heading here ever so slightly. Camp Pendleton by. The Orthel here has got really nice coloring. We actually go down along the coastline, but from the inland side, so we can this view. restricted airspace here, but we won't tell anybody. Let's go ahead and turn a bit more southbound here. Head on down into North County, San Diego here, coming up to Oceanside Harbor, right there. And this is all Camp Pendleton. See the Camp Pendleton, well, one of the airstrips, but the main one right over here. There. There's another little airstrip. And if you ever drive from San Diego to LA or Orange County along the 5 freeway here, you might see helicopters, tanks, hovercraft, which is this little section right here. A lot of hovercrafts actually come in and out when they do their maneuvers and stuff off the coastline right here. Alright, I'll leave you with this view here for a minute as we cruise on down through North County, San Diego. Alright, looks like we're just passing Carlsbad. This is Palomar Airport. Taking a look back there towards Oceanside Harbor. And coming across Encinitas, right over here. Another nice spot to go if you're visiting is Encinitas right here and Moonlight Beach. No pier or anything, but downtown Encinitas, lots of little restaurants and shops, and the beach is nice. Walk all up and down it. If you really wanted to, you could walk all the way down to all the way to San Diego. Alright, starting to see Del Mar right here, Del Mar racetrack. Yeah, I can start seeing some of the buildings showing up here, or at least the lights. Actually, that's the Coronado Bridge right there, those two green lights. We'll fly right over Lindbergh and then head south along the bay. Take a look at downtown and the bridge. Obviously, if you are in San Diego visiting, come over to La Jolla over here. There's La Jolla Shores, which is a nice flat beach, lots of paddleboarding, kayaking. You take the kayaks, you can rent a kayak from a couple different shops right over here. And that's La Jolla Shores, that's this flat beach right there. And then there's La Jolla Cove, which is right here. There's a nice park over here, and parking is it's a pain, but you can find parking on the street and then hang out, go to the cove right here, go snorkeling. Lots of sea lions. You'll end up snorkeling with a bunch of goofy sea lions that whiz by you and scare the crap out of you. I speak from experience there. And yeah, another nice spot. Lots of restaurants. Kind of on the expensive side, some of them, but you know, you'll find a little bit of everything all throughout La Jolla right here. I think it's called the Jewel of the Pacific. Alright, and we are coming up to Mission Bay Park, where SeaWorld is, and I think SeaWorld is got a tower. That's what we're seeing right there. Let's see if we zoom in. Yeah. So there's SeaWorld. You can see that there's SeaWorld has. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. SeaWorld has that tower you can go up and down on. That's what that blue thing is right there. You can actually sit in it. It's a big round thing. It goes up and down. And right there where my cursor is the Mission Bay VOR. Chance. You can see some of the lighting here that are added. I think some of it's a little bit too extreme. Let me see if it goes down, if I turn down my crazy ass lighting setting here. Let's go all the way down. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, and so it's a little bit more subdued. I think there was one right over here. Yeah, there it is. So that's kind of, I guess, my own fault here, but I like to have my general lights up a little bit. They definitely are visible. So we're going to fly right over the VOR, it looks like. That's it right there. When I used to fly in San Diego in real life, I'd come take a tour, come right across the bay here, and actually because you're down at like, it was like 1,000 feet coming across the bay. This little strip of beach was my emergency landing spot, if anything ever happened. Alright, you can see the buildings of downtown starting to pop in, and this is called Mission Valley right here. So you got an aircraft right there. Alright, what I'm going to do is go off of autopilot. Let's back down the power a little bit. Let's kill the autopilot so we can get a good view. Come right over Lindbergh and just scoot down along the bay here. I want to get down a little bit lower here. I keep saying I want to go paddleboarding right here. I'm gonna make that. It's gonna be my New Year's resolution. Is I'm going to go paddleboarding right here as I take a video. The airliner's coming up. Just for the heck of it. See our frames 26. So not bad. Not bad. Let's go all the way to idle. Come down over here, and as you can see, got the bridge, got the Coronado Bay Bridge finally. Jump in here just for a minute. There we go, about 1,000 feet. Power back up. Eyeball it here. This is the USS Midway. Is it? The Nimitz, I can't remember. Midway. It's the Midway Museum, so you can come over here and tour the aircraft carrier. Like I said, this is the convention center. It doesn't look exactly like this, but the other scenery pack, the FSX conversion, unfortunately, is a little bit too frame crazy for me. And the bridge, like I said, is a separate scenery pack just for the bridge. I had to play around with the ortho masking underneath it to get rid of the ortho, bridge. Nice, coming right over the top of it here. Bring up some power. Yes, I have tried to fly underneath it, but I paused at 1 minute when I was underneath it, and when I unpaused, it like instantly crashed me. So we won't do that today. All right, let's come over here. We'll come over the Coronado. And back over towards Lindbergh, and we'll make a nice short approach over. Into Lindbergh. If you ever want to go paddleboarding, go to this park right here. Come across the bridge, come down here, and you can park right over here. Launch your paddleboards. There's the parking spots. See? Launch right from that beach right there and paddle wherever the heck you want. Alright, so I know this isn't going to be realistic, but we're going to do it anyway. Now, some of the buildings are real, like these right here. Those are the actual buildings. Not sure about that one. Convention center isn't completely looking like that. These buildings are real. These right here actually have a green. It's lit up green. Actually, let's do that. Let's go nighttime over here. I can show you what it looks like. It'll take me a few minutes to. I'm moving the time right now as we speak. There we go. Sundown. Sunset. There we go. We'll do one more tour of downtown here in the sunset, just so you can see what it looks like. A couple extra cruise ships there. And we actually got a little destroyer or something right there. There's a couple of sailing ships that you can take a tour of, including a Russian submarine down there. We're going to go ahead and drop the gear here just to get ourselves situated and come across. Look at that, that looks so nice. Drop some flaps here. View of downtown. Here's what it looks like at night. Bridge at night here. Let me just make sure I'm not over speeding or anything. Yeah, you do have the harbor lights down underneath there, I believe. Cockpit here so we don't kill ourselves. Let's go ahead and come back around through downtown one more time and do a nice landing into Lindbergh. Coming around the back side of the convention center right here, where the San Diego Comic-Con takes place. Be there myself this year again. Let's do a little bit more of a sunset view here. Run into any buildings. Here's Balboa Park. Like I said, the other scenery had a few more buildings accurately modeled, and a bridge and stuff like that, but for the most part, this has got the Navy Hospital that's here, San Diego Space and Air Museum right here, some of the other buildings and stuff, you know, not completely accurate. There's a bridge right here that isn't modeled. Alright, let's go ahead and power off with both flaps here. Let's get down into San Diego. landing lights on. Let's go ahead and put that on. Alright, gear down. 3 green. Volume up a little bit. Alright, 60 feet per minute on the left side of the runway. And hit some braking. I hope you enjoyed that tour of Southern California. With some new scenery, mods, whatever you want to call it. Let's see, pull off right here. Head over to General Aviation Parking at Lindbergh. I'll have some if I didn't do that already. Get one last look of downtown here as we taxi back. And 24 on the frames there. Acceptable. Go ahead and kill the landing lights and the strobes. And I'm just going to park it right here. Sound down a little bit. Like I said, guys, hope you enjoyed that that little tour of Southern California. Until next time, take care.